Good morning. Welcome to VIA Learn at Home. My name is Jessica Roberts and I'm a pre-K teacher for the CSIU at Warrior Run Pre-K Counts Blue. I'm here today to talk to you all about kindness. And just like my hero, Mr. Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, we're going to be talking about how to recognize what is kind and what is not kind and different ways that you can show kindness to others. My friend Miss Jenna earlier this week, she's also from Pre-K Counts, she did some kindness activities with you, so this should be a review for you guys. I'm going to do a game with you before we get started on our activity. So in my classroom, when we're reviewing something that we've been learning, we do thumbs up or thumbs down. And thumbs up means yes or I agree. And thumbs down means no or no, I don't agree. So for this activity, I'm going to show you pictures. And if it's something that is kind, you're going to give me a thumbs up. And if it's something that's not kind, you're going to give me a thumbs down. Okay? All right, let's try that. Here we go. So the first one is coloring on the furniture. Is that kind? Thumbs up. Or not kind? Thumbs down. Yeah, coloring on the furniture is not kind. I think that would make some family members not very happy. How about asking others to play? Is that kind or not kind? Yeah, asking others to play is really kind. That's a thumbs up. Making sure that everybody has somebody to play with and that everybody has a turn is really kind. It's also a great way to make new friends. How about teasing someone? Nah, nah, you're not my friend. Is that kind or not kind? Yeah, teasing others is not kind. How about helping others? Maybe helping somebody get up, maybe helping someone who's sad, helping to clean up toys. Is that kind or not kind? Helping others is kind. Good job. All right, let's do, this is leaving things on the floor. Is leaving things on the floor kind or not kind? Yeah, leaving things on the floor is not kind. Somebody could hurt themselves. Maybe your toys could get broken. So leaving things on the floor is not kind. And, this is a tricky one. Recycling. Is recycling kind or not kind? Yeah, recycling is kind. It's kind to the earth. You're helping to keep our planet healthy. Good job. All right, last one. Laughing at someone. Is laughing at someone kind or not kind? You're right. Laughing at someone is not kind. And you can see the little girl in the picture. There's a tear. That's a sad face. Yeah. Laughing at others is not kind. Boy, oh boy, you guys know the difference between kind and not kind. Good job. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to read a book all about kindness, and then we're going to do an activity that you can try at home.
Oh yeah. Let's check it.
The Kindness Quilt, written and illustrated by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. This book can be purchased through Amazon or your local bookstore. It can also be borrowed from any public library or your school library. One Friday at Sharing Circle, Minna helped Mrs. Bloom hold up a large green book. "I love stories," Minna said. "I do too," said Mrs. Bloom. "I'm going to read an Aesop fable." Mrs. Bloom began reading. Long ago, a tiny mouse was scampering through the jungle. By and by he came upon a great lion snoozing in the tall grass. The mouse was feeling playful, so he plucked a blade of grass and tickled the lion's nose. "Grrrr!" roared the lion, grabbing the little mouse in his huge padded paw. "What is this? An afternoon snack?" "Please, please, please don't eat me," begged the mouse. "Someday I'll do something nice to help you." "Ha, ha, ha, ha," laughed the lion. "You help me?" But he let the mouse go and fell back to sleep. A few weeks later, the mouse was scurrying home when he heard a terrible roar. There was his friend trapped in a net. The little mouse gnawed on the ropes with his sharp teeth and set the mighty lion free. When the story ended, Minna sat down. Then Mrs. Bloom asked, "What's the moral of this fable?" I know," said Minna. "It's about kindness. The lion let the mouse go, and later the mouse helped the lion. I think they both felt happy about being kind." Tyrone said, "It shows you can be kind whether you're little or big." That night, Minna told Mom, Dad, and Pip, "Mrs. Bloom wants us to do something kind. Then make a picture about it and take the picture into school to share. It's kind of a kindness project." "That's a wonderful idea," said Mom. "But," said Minna, "I'm not sure what to do." "We can help you with ideas," said Dad. Early Sunday morning, before Mom and Dad got up, Minna read to Pip. "Reading me books is a good idea for your kindness picture, Minna," said Pip. Minna nodded, but she said, "I'm still thinking." Before lunch, Minna went with Mom to Community Cleanup Day. "Picking up litter in the park is being kind to our earth," said Mom. "That could be an idea for your kindness picture." Minna nodded, but she said, "I'm still thinking." Later in the afternoon, Minna and Dad cooked creamy carrot soup for supper. Minna took a big jar to their neighbors. After supper, Minna got a pencil and paper. "Kindness, kindness," she whispered to herself. "There are lots of kinds of kindness." Dad brought Minna a snack. "Yum," said Minna. "Sharing the soup with Mr. and Mrs. Checker could be an idea for your kindness picture," said Dad. Minna nodded, but she said, "I'm still thinking." "You can use my new markers, Minna," said Pip. "Thanks." Minna started writing and drawing. Later, Mom tiptoed in. She brought Minna scissors and more paper. Minna smiled. "Thanks, Mom." Then Minna started cutting. On Sunday afternoon, Minna looked at what she had written and drawn and cut out. Kindness is picking up trash, sharing soup with your neighbors, reading books to your little brother, my family helping me. Suddenly, Minna knew what she wanted to do. She found her glue stick and got to work. On Monday, Minna took her artwork to school. She listened as Carrie, Tyrone, Kyle, and Lindsay shared pictures of their acts of kindness. Kindness is setting the table without being told. Kindness is sharing your toys. When it was Minna's turn, she held up her artwork. "Oh," said the class. "It looks like a beautiful quilt," said Lindsay. "Wow," said Tyrone. "If you want to, you can make yours look like a quilt too," said Minna. "Great," said Mrs. Bloom. "Let's get out our art materials. Kyle, Carrie, Tyrone, Lindsay, since you've shared your art today, you can work on your quilt squares, and Minna can help." Then they cut and glued. Then they taped their acts of kindness together. Mrs. Bloom hung the paper quilt on the small bulletin board. As the days passed, more acts of kindness happened. Maya sent a card. Esteban helped his neighbor. Amon held a door open. Dave took care of Noodles. That's his pet fish. And the kindness quilt grew until it overflowed the small bulletin board. Mrs. Bloom and the children had to move it to the big bulletin board. As more days passed, more and more acts of kindness happened. Jadalyn was kind to Keisha. Keisha was kind to Zach. Zach was kind to AJ. AJ was kind to Minna. When the kindness quilt overflowed the big bulletin board, Mr. Cooper helped them hang the quilt on the long wall in the hall. Soon, other classes joined in. And the kindness kept growing and growing and growing.
In the book, The Kindness Quilt, the students were making their own quilt squares to remind them of the kind things that they did for others. Do you know what a quilt is? Some of you may not. A quilt is a blanket made up of a lot of different pieces, a lot of different squares and different shapes of material. I'm going to show you a quilt that my grandmother made. This quilt design is called a crazy quilt because it doesn't have a real design. It doesn't look like a square. It doesn't look like a wagon wheel. It's all kinds of different shapes put together. So they call this a crazy quilt square. And you can see that she took all kinds of different shapes, all kinds of different materials, and she sewed them together to make this little quilt square. And then this hangs in my laundry room. Isn't that really pretty? So that's a quilt. A quilt is when you take lots of different pieces, you put them all together to make one thing. So the students in the story made quilt squares about things they did that were kind for others. And that is a great way to remember kindness. And that's something you may want to do at home, is draw pictures of kind things that you do for others, and that will remind you, I need to be kind. It's important to be kind. That's a great thing to do. My friends and I, we did something a little different. Another way to be kind is to show gratitude. What's gratitude? Gratitude is when you are grateful. It's when you remember kind things that people do for you. So I might remember that my neighbor helped walk my dog for me. I might remember that my son mowed the grass for me. Those are all very kind things to do for others. So the kindness quilt that we made is a gratitude quilt. We thought of kind things that people have done for us, and we drew pictures about it. So here's some of the things my friends are grateful for, okay? The first one, Ryan, he is grateful. He says, my mom is making me a milkshake. That is a great thing to be grateful for. This friend said, my dad taught me to fish. That's really nice. And that person is remembering that dad spent time with them. That's really kind. This friend says, kindness is when my friend plays games with me. Playing games together is kind. That's right. This friend said, my family and friends surprised me with a Zoom birthday party while in quarantine. So somebody had a birthday during this time when we're at our homes and they couldn't have a birthday party. I bet that made them feel a little sad. But their friends remembered them and they had a Zoom birthday party for them. That's really kind. My friend Cameron said, my mom helps me ride my bike, and riding your bike can be hard. So mom must be so patient to help him with that. That is really nice. Cameron's sister Caitlin says, mommy helping me with my work when I explode. Uh-oh, it sounds like schoolwork is really frustrating and makes her angry. She says, I quit, I give up. Ah, impossible. Have you ever felt that way? Yeah, me too. And mom says, may I help? So her mom showed kindness by being patient, sitting down, and helping her to calm down. That is really kind. This friend, Ismail, says, my friend gave me food. Yay! He's really excited that his friend gave him a snack. That's great. This friend said, my students gave me cookies. That must have been a really nice surprise, huh? Luke said, my parents got me ice cream for being Forester of the Week. Well, good job, Luke. And that was nice of them to remember you and have a celebration. And this is a picture of two friends, and one is saying, I like your shirt. And this friend says, thank you, I like your dress. So sharing kind words is another way that you can show kindness. So when you're home and somebody does something kind for you, a great way to show gratitude would be to draw a picture and to design a quilt square and to collect them, put them together to remind you that a lot of good things are still happening. We may not be at school and we may miss our friends, but good things are still happening. And a gratitude quilt will help us to remember that. And when you're grateful, that makes other people feel good and it makes them want to do more kind things. So 2 things you can do. You can make a kindness square about kind things you do. And the second thing, you can make kindness squares about kind things other people do for you. So we've been talking about kindness and knowing the difference between being kind and not kind. And we've been talking about different ways that we can be kind and to remember people who are kind to us. There's one last thing that we can work on while we're at home. Outside, there are rocks. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a big rock, but if you go outside and find a rock, it helps if it's one that's a little bit smoother, okay, not real bumpy. And what we're going to create is a kindness rock. And I drew on the one side just a silly heart and the word kind and that kind of thing. What you can do is you can take permanent markers or paint markers. You could use paint. You could use even crayons. If it's a smooth rock, like this is a smooth rock, you could even use crayons on a smooth rock and design your own kindness rock. Make it be whatever you want it to be. As you're coloring it, think kind. Think of kindness, okay? After you finish your rock, okay, so I now have my rock all done. When you're done with your rock, there's something that you can do with this kindness rock that I do with my friends at school. One of the things I teach my friends to do at school is to calm their bodies when they are frustrated or angry or sad. I teach them how to calm their bodies, because when your body is calm, you can be kind. When your body is not calm, it's hard to be kind. Can you be calm when you're angry? No, it's hard to be kind when you're angry. Can you be kind when you're sad? You can, but it's a lot harder. So what we do, I'm going to teach you how to do the calm down exercise, okay? You find a comfy place to sit. It can be on your bed. It can be in a comfy chair. It could be on your couch. Wherever it is your special, calm, quiet spot, get your body comfortable. Put your rock in your hand, okay? Now, you can close your eyes or you can keep your eyes open, whatever is comfortable for you. And we are going to take deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. And when we do these deep breaths, we're going to do them slow and deep, okay? So I'll show you how to do it first. Ready? So I have my rock in my hand. I'm going to let my eyes open so I can show you how. And you breathe in. Did you see how long and slow that was? Yeah. If you do this, oh, you're going to pass out. That's crazy. That doesn't calm your body down. So you do slow, deep breaths. And you should feel your tummy getting hard. And you should feel your lungs getting full, okay? When you do your slow, deep breaths, you want to do at least 3 or 4 to really help calm your body down, okay? Here we go. 1. 2. 3. 4. And after you've done your calm breaths, something you can do with your calm down rock, with your kindness rock, is you can think of people who have done kind things for you. Think of Mom when she tucked you in at night. Think of Grandma when she read you your favorite story again. Think of the kind things that people do for you. Here's a really hard one, okay? This is an idea for you to try, but I want you to know that it's hard, okay? Another thing you can do with your kindness rock is after you do your deep, slow breaths, you can think of someone who is not kind to you, someone who's been mean to you. And when you think of that person with your kindness rock, think kind thoughts about them. Think kind feelings about them. I hope that they make a new friend. I hope that they find a way to have a calm body. And maybe when you think those kind thoughts about that mean person, it'll help you feel better, but maybe, just maybe, it'll help that other person in some way. So today we've learned what's kind and what's not kind. We learned ways to remember to be kind and to be grateful, and we learned ways to calm down our bodies. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoy Mr. Rogers. Thank you for joining me at VIA Learn at Home. Have a great day, friends.